Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Program with Santier, and today I decided that while I have some stuff that I'm going to need to try to debug, I wanted to add some functionality that I discovered that I was trying to use. So, what I need to figure out is how do I get a context menu to show up? Now, there's different ways of potentially doing this, but what I want to look into here is if I can stick it on this. Uh-huh. Category node context menu. This is a context menu strip. So that should theoretically then pop up. I just want to quickly check to make sure that that does what I think it should do. Okay, so it doesn't do anything there, but if I make a category, and I right click on that, cool. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and clear out some of these, not as many as I thought. I need code like this for the add task. Now the question is, do I want to do this, or do I want to do something a bit simpler, shall we say? And that's a good question. I can add other stuff to that menu as well, so I might do that. Because I can do the add item display dialog. And I think I should be able to actually do a little bit more with that. Because those are going to just have their default value. Sorry, I'm just kind of thinking through. So if I just grab this and I go, it's over here, add node. I need int category equals, oh, this is going to be ugly. Int pre-node sender dot tag, and then string name. Don't need to do this. And then I can just call add task. Theoretically, that should do what I want. Now, I need to go into this. Right here, category index. What I want to do is actually go AIF dot actually, I can just let's do this. Pop it open. Let's go int suggested category. And then what we can do right here is see how this says this. I can just go if suggested category is greater than or equal to 0 and suggested, what the, nope. Control V, not Control B. Suggested category is less than categories dot items dot count. I'll just do that default behavior. Categories dot selected index equals suggested category. Then I can do the same sort of thing over here, except this just, instead of 0, just be suggested category. Okay. So let's see if this likes me doing that. So this right here will just be category index. Now it might not like it, yeah. So I'm going to change this from out to ref. Ref works similarly, except it specifically has stuff inside of it. Now that's going to make saying out here incorrect. I should say ref instead. And then this should just be 0. Or, yeah, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to actually okay, task add, I'm going to just go ahead and set this to -1. Because category by default should not have a category that's being assigned to. But, yeah, so let's just grab this contents and I think that should be set up the way that I want it to be. So then I need to come back down here. Nope. Here becomes ref. Let's give this giant pile of stuff. And this should have this same monkey code. Not monkey code, it's just code. Don't need to do this. That otherwise is correct, and this should just be add category. The new category we're adding. Okay, so let's see if this works. It may or may not. So I do need to have a category in existence. But if I go here and I go add node, this explodes because the sender is, what is the sender? It is the tool strip, not the node. That's awkward. Doesn't do what I need it to do at all. Is there any useful information in event args? Right, this one's basically empty, isn't it? Okay. So that first thought of how I'm going to do it, sorry, I'm admiring the little line being drawn from there to the thing, which jumps when the position changes relative. Okay, so that thought is not going to work. So let's go ahead and change this monkeying about to, how about category list dot selected node, and cast that. I mean, maybe it works. Okay, I need a close parenthesis. Let's see if this behaves the way I want it to. And then I can come down here, add category, unnamed category, add category, unnamed category. And then if I right click ASDF, add node. Cool. If I come over here, add node. Okay, it's still trying to send it to ASDF. So the reason for that is pretty obvious. That's actually the ASDF is actually the selected node. Right-clicking doesn't actually change that. So it turns out this is a little bit more obnoxious to kind of do than I was hoping. I'm going to figure out how to fix that. So there's a couple of different possible approaches that I can take. Let's see. Let's just exit. Because obviously what I want is I want to know what node had the tool strip show up. So let's see if category list dot context menu, that just gives me stuff when that changes. Mouse click. Okay, so I'm just gonna see if this works. It's a bit silly, but tree node, last clicked node, it's null. Node equals node that was clicked. There we go. So I'm just going to set that to the last clicked node, and then theoretically I have to have a node to have a last clicked node, right? So all right, to bring up this context menu, so I'm just going to do so something that I could theoretically do is this is an interesting idea. Now, obviously, I need to change some of the text because it's not a node we're adding, it's a task. So I'm going to fix that momentarily. But what I can do right here is set the category. Let's see. So, yeah. Okay, so I like this idea, which is if you kind of just do it outside of the area, as it were, it kind of, I don't know, I'm thinking. Yeah, because what I want is a second context menu, I think. I'm going to add a second context menu to this designer. So first of all, I'm going to change this because it shouldn't be node. It should be tree. Or it shouldn't be tree. It should be task. Ugh, I'm awful at this apparently. And then the other thing that I wanted to do, like I said, is I want to add another tool strip. Another context menu strip. And this one I'm going to just call category list context menu. This is just going to have add category. And what this is going to do when you click this is it's just going to do this, except instead of that, it's going to be a -1. So otherwise, it's going to do the same thing. These only can pop up if you have a node that you've clicked on. So we're going to find out if this works the way that I want it to. If it does, that's fantastic. If not, you know, whatever. So, oh yeah, I forgot to add that. So I want to add that so I can make sure that's working too. So I need to come up. Where do I want to add this? I'm just gonna, I don't know. I'm gonna just do it right here. Category list dot context menu strip equals category list context menu. There's going to be a little bit of overlap between these two, but what this should do is this should allow me to just go add category, unnamed category, and then I can add task to unnamed category. I can just add another category so something else I need to do is make hitting enter in this field friggin' work right. Okay, so if I come up here and click add category, it adds it to unnamed category. Add task, as it to unnamed category, just as that has 2 tasks in it. If I come up here, I can add category into ASDF. I can click on Bob and I can add a task to Bob. So you can see that this whole thing is now working the way that it's supposed to. So that's cool, and I can just click out here and add category, which is a much better workflow than having to go up to the file thing. Now, I can still do this if I want to and add tasks or add categories this way, but I found that I was wanting to right-click to be able to do it, and now I can. So that's really cool. Something else that I want to be able to do then is add to this menu, when you right-click on a category, rename category. So that's a piece of functionality that I think would be a really good idea to add as well. Now, I haven't forgotten the need to figure out some of the weird problems I was having with the notifications, but I kind of want to add rename category as an option here and get that working. So I'm gonna. It's got some complication. In terms of like I need to add another form for it, but that's not hard. So I can come to this one. I can add a line because I want a little line there. A hyphen turns into a line, by the way. Rename category. So what I want to have happen is when you click this, I need to I'm just going to grab this because it's the truth. Okay. So I'm going to need last click node name. I'm also going to need to set as text. Now, something that I'm going to actually do right now is view code for this. Okay, so this is this gigantic mess. I'm going to go ahead and add a thing right here. Name dot key down. Where's my key is pressed? There's a subtle difference between these. That's a key event handler. This is a key press event handler. Oh, well, let's see if this does what I want. If e dot char, no, I want the other one. I want key down. So what I want to do right here is if e dot key code is equal to enter. OK button, click. Which apparently doesn't actually need to do stuff, but you know. So hopefully that'll kind of fix that particular issue, I suppose we can say. Because I was getting annoyed by it. Okay, so I'm going to want to go ahead and add a new form. Windows form. And this is just going to be rename category. The text can just be literally that. I will set the icon later. The control box is false, and I need form border style set to fixed dialog. Okay, so all this is going to do is literally just have a text box. That's probably fine. this is just going to read name, view code. Let's see. I'm just going to go int cat ID, and then int category ID equals -1. Category ID equals cat ID. Name.text equals categories. Category dot all categories. Cat ID dot name. There we go. So we'll go ahead and grab that, and then name dot key down. We're going to do the exact same thing here and just go if e dot key code is equal to enter, close. So in this case, we'll just close the form. But what we'll actually, we want to do two things. So we want to go, we want to close the form, and we want to go category to all categories, category ID dot name equals name dot text. Okay. So it should not have the actual new line in it, I don't think, but that should just kind of change it. So what I want to go just down here, and I want to rename category RC equals new, category ID, and then last clicked node dot text equals category all categories category ID dot name. Okay, if I did all of this stuff right, we're good. If I didn't, we're not. So that's fine. Let's rename category. Okay, I know why that didn't work. I didn't go rc.show dialog. Show dialog. Turns out if you don't tell it to make the thing, it doesn't make the thing. I should be able to be in here and like hit enter, and then it did. So a name, hit enter, and now it says a name. So that's cool. I want to go ahead and add another category, unnamed category. Have that one selected. Right click on that. A new name. Now it says a new name. Still have that properly selected. So now we have the ability to rename categories, which is real cool and which I'm happy about because that was needing to be happening. This is an easy, convenient way of doing it. I like doing it this way. And I like just being able to right click and be like, hey, I want a category. I'm going to name it Jim Bob. Hit enter and boom, added. So that's really sweet too. It makes that more user-friendly. So this episode has been the How to Make Your Controls More User-Friendly edition. Often, by the way, the more ways you add to do things, the more convenient it is. And like I said, one of the things that you'll notice is I kept trying to do stuff. And this is really important to be aware of, to be conscious of when you're working with your control, you're testing things. If you keep trying to use some element of what you're working on in a specific way and it doesn't work the way you want it to, the way that your instincts are, this is how it should work, then don't be lazy, make it work that way. You will thank yourself later. It will save you a huge amount of headaches. It just makes everything more convenient if you kind of do that. So there are going to be a couple of additional things I'm going to need to be able to add. So a really good example is I'm going to need to be able to add the functionality to be able to move categories. So for example, if a category has a parent, I'm going to need to be able to change its parentage and take it out of its parent's child. I need to be able to move things around. I'm not going to do that right now, but I'm going to add that through the actually, I might as well just, I'm going to need a form for it. So I'm going to go ahead and add the form. I'll implement it later, but I'm going to go ahead and add the form because I want to give forms icons between episodes. So this is going to be move category. So you'll notice I just hit enter there and it works, right? So just be aware of like how you want the control to work, and then make it work that way. Like as you're trying to use it, just be very conscious about what you're doing and how you're trying to use it. So. This whole thing is going to require like setting up more stuff. So we have about 5 minutes left in this episode, so I don't want to like dig into that right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and have that made and work on it later. But I got the stuff that I wanted to do here in, so now I want to close rename category because rename category is straightforward and easy enough as well. What I want to do is see if I can figure out why that one thing was exploding at the end of last episode. So let's go ahead and add ourselves a couple categories. Let's just give this one a name so I can identify it. And let's add this a task. Timer. Let's go ahead and make that go off at 16. Let's just add a new category out here. Terry, apparently. Let's have Terry selected. Let's be on search. And let's see what happens when my notification pops up and I click it, because last time it exploded and I need to know why. And I did not look into sort of the debug information enough to be able to identify why. Okay, so that popped up and that worked. Okay, why did it work? Why did it work this time and not last time? I am so confused. Okay, so here's Terry being selected. Let's go ahead and add a category to Terry. Call it yet. And have yet selected. Let's just leave it on this view. Why not? Shouldn't matter. Just wait a little bit. It'll pop the thing up. Now again, it'd make testing a little bit easier if I was worrying about seconds, but for the actual program, I'm not going to. The actual use is just like seconds don't matter. Like you might want it to be like 15 minutes or something, but you don't care about and 30 seconds when you're scheduling stuff. You're not going to use this, or at least I'm not going to use this for anything that precise. If you want to add it, then that's fine. Okay, so it's not exploding now. I don't know why it was exploding earlier. Maybe just restarting the program or something kind of fixed it. I couldn't tell you. But all I know is it's now not exploding. It did before. If it comes up again, I guess I will try to figure out what's going on. I guess I can begin, because renaming was super easy, which was really nice. But I'm going to actually want to add a move category function, I think. I don't know. That's something I'm going to worry about a bit later. Yeah. Yeah. Category to move. Category destination. New parent equals null. Moves one category into moves a category in the category hierarchy. The category to move the new parent category. If null, the move will leave the node, or leave the category with no parent. Okay. So next time, we're going to make this function do stuff and allow ourselves to be able to move categories around. Why? Because I've decided that's the order we're going to do things in. So anyway, I thank you for watching. Take care, everybody. Until next time, bye-bye.